Okay, so for today's video, I'm going to be playing around with some makeup and maybe do a little holiday look. I have some tape on. Let's hope my tape is even. If not, my eyes will be uneven when they are done. But before we get started, I did want to mention, and this is something I'm going to be doing throughout the whole month of November and December, up until the holidays, till Christmas. And I want to make you aware of sales with some companies that I really like supporting, or just things that are bargains, or let's say Cyber Monday, Black Friday deals. So the first one that I am going to tell you about is City Beauty. So City Beauty is going into their site-wide Black Friday sale, and that will be from November 14th until the 21st. You will get 40% off your purchase. I will insert a little clip here. I've done videos on using my gua sha tool with some of my City Beauty facial products, and you all know that I use their body firming oil, and I also use the one for Crepe skin. And I've gone through jars and jars of both the Sculpting cream and the Invisi Crepe. And like I said, I use the body firming oil, and I also, when I'm doing my gua sha, along with the sculpting cream, I do use the Uplift, I believe it's called, Firm. So I wanted to let you all know that, but you can buy if you're somebody who loves their lip balms, their glosses, or anything in the line, you can get from November 14th until the 21st, 40% off. I really do love using the sculpting cream with my gua sha tool, and the oil gives it a perfect amount of slip, but you don't need the oil because the sculpting cream also gives you just enough slip to work with your gua sha. And the gua sha tool can be very effective if you are using it regularly. So I wanted to make you aware that City Beauty's site-wide Black Friday sale, November 14th until the 21st. So I will be doing this on a regular basis, like I said, throughout the month of November and December to help you save money. So now let's get going on my tutorial and hope that my tape is all in order. I'm going to start with a primer, and the reason why I'm starting with my eyes is because I want a more uplifted. So I use tape. Many years I've been doing this. I've done some videos using it before. This is just the CVS quality medical tape, and you just put it at the angle that you want it. If you're somebody who really likes that cat eye look, this is a perfect way to get it. It gives you a really precise edge with your eyeshadow. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Covergirl. This is the eyeshadow primer, and you can use any primer you like. Excuse the eyebrows. I am not doing a thing with them. I want to see if I can get Chewbacca brows before the end of the year. So I'm not doing anything with them. So I'm just going to put that primer on, and this is, although I don't always use an eyeshadow primer, I do think that they do also help to keep the colors that you're using true to the actual color. So I'm just going to go in. Now I have a couple of different palettes here that I was going to play with. I'm going to be sharing an outfit of the day at the end of the video, and I wanted to try to go along with my outfit. So I'm just going to play around with those, but I'm first going to go in with the Mario palette. Don't even know if this palette still exists, but it has a lot of nice base colors to it. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm using the Refer 33. This is from their new brush collection, and I'm going to just go in with this peach, and I'm going to lay that down as the foundation. So I'm just going to go ahead and pack the peach on and go right over the tape. The tape will be secure if you're using a medical grade tape. Scotch tape may float around on you if you have your creams on already, and it is good to get in the habit of touching the tape on your hand, first, before you put it on your actual face. It just helps it to release a little bit better. My tape may be too high for what I'm going for today, but too late. We are just going to go for it. So notice that I'm sticking with a peachier tone versus a yellow, because the outfit I'm wearing is going to have a little bit of olive green in it, and too much olive tone or yellow tone will just make me look jaundiced with my silver hair. So I'm just going to keep it in the peach family, and it's just a nice base that goes on. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a Rephr number 1 brush, because the Rephr number 1 is my most favorite brush for applying my transition color. And for transition, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the one in the corner here and just going to dab that in. What's nice about the tape also is you don't need to really worry about the fallout, because it's going to catch it, but you're also not putting your foundation on. So we don't really need to worry about fallout. You see, it's going right on the tape, which is really kind of nice. Now notice with this one, I'm going up higher in the outer corner, but not on the inner corner. This will just help to give my eye a nice lift. And I really want to build that up in the outer part of the eye, and then I'll just take whatever's left over and drop down to the lower crease. I'm not going up here with this darker tone because I don't want to close the eye off. So I'm just going to go in and keep doing that until I get it exactly where I want it. So that's what you're looking at. You can look at the difference between the one that has it and does it. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we are with my transition color. So now you can stay with the same brush if you want, because we're really not going to go back in and pick up any of that color. And I have to decide which of these 3 I want to go in with next. I think I'm going to go ahead with the one right here in the center. Now this is going to focus on the outer lower part from the crease all the way down to my lid, but I'm not taking this one all the way over yet. Again, applying most of that color to the outer portion of the eye. And again, the tape gives you a great guideline, pretty much does all the work for you. So that's what we're looking at. Do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Go in with my Rephr 15, and I'm going to soften that edge, and that's just by going back and forth. I'm not really going low yet. I'm just softening that upper edge. And then I will go ahead and just lightly soften this, because we are going to go ahead and put a different color on there. And then if I feel I need to just build up slightly, I go back in with that brush that had the color on that I just used, and I blend that down, going back in with the 15. Blending's the name of the game. It is the name of the game, my friends, especially at our age. All right, so now I'm going to go back in with some of that color that I just used in the center, and I'm going to stick with a brush number 1, tapping just a small amount on, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little dusting of that right on the center of the eye, but very controlled. Okay, see, so I moved it into the center, but I'm just tapping the eyeshadow on. I'm not really picking up a whole lot. And then I'm just tapping it to the center of the eye. So the outer corner will have the bulk of the color on it. So then I'll go back in with that 15, and I'm just going to lightly blend that. Now this is where I'm going to add a little bit of color, and I was thinking, I thought about first I would use the Wet n Wild palette. This palette here would be a nice palette to be able to succeed what I'm doing, because this color here could work as, well, you could start off with a lighter version of this as your transition color, and then use this in the crease where I'm working now, and then you could pick up, you know, any of these other colors. But I think I'm going to bring out an oldie but goodie that I have not used in a long time, and this is the Paris Nudes from BISOUS. I haven't used these in a long time, but I'm really drawn to this olive green. Going back in with a clean number 1. Let me see which one I want. There are 2 greens in here, but I want the one that has the most. There's an olive green and one that's a little bit more gold. Okay, I'm going to go with the one that's a little bit, well, we're going to use them both. I'm going to go in with this one. I'm going to pick up the number 1. Notice I'm tapping it onto the shadows. I'm not digging it in. And then I'm going to take my broken top and I'm going to work that in because I want to be able to control this color. So I'm going to go ahead and tap this over what I just applied and then onto some of the clean area that I did not apply. So you'll get like a transition automatically with that. You see? And then I'm going to go back in with that same color, tapping it down, picking some up, and then tapping it into the lid. And I'm just going to build that up. Notice I'm not going above the crease with this at all. That is really beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so now I got a little carried away right on the edge here. So, okay, I'm going to go back in with this color here. But I got a little carried away on the outer edge here. I took the green too far. So I'm just going to tap over with the brown because I don't want that as part of the edge. And then I'll just take this and blend those 2 colors. Okay, so this is what we're looking at right now. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so I've applied, but I'm going to go back in with my finger now with that same green. And I'm just going to really build that up. Sometimes you get better control with your finger. You'll notice it just looks a little bit better. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Bring it right down to the lash line, but not past the crease line. All right? I try so hard not to say all right because I know all right bothers people. It's the littlest things. All right, so I'm going to go back in with my 15 and I'm just going to clean that outer corner up, making sure that there's no satin finish or frost on the outer edge. I just want that on the center so it pops. I'm going to go back in with that number 1. I'm going to clean it off and I'm going to pick up some of this goldier green, just tapping in the same way. I'm not really picking up a ton, and then tap it off and we're just going to sweep that on the inner part. I might even have just enough on this brush of the eye. So then you have like a transition of color. Okay. There I am with the okay again. All right, go back in and I'm going to pick up some more of that color here, this third one. And I just did the tip and I'm going to just make sure that I go into my crease so that I don't have too much shimmer in the crease area. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so now I'm going to take the lighter color here. I'm going to blend these 2. A little bit of this one, a little bit of that one, because this is a little bit too yellow. So I'm just going to blend them, touch it off, and I want to soften the edge up to the brow. Same thing on the other side. Whatever you do on one side, you got to do on the other side. So I'm just going to sweep that. So there are the eyes. So now I'm going to remove the tape. And you'll see it gives you a really nice edge. And it's also very uplifting. Okay, so now we're just going to move on to the rest of our face. I already primed. And I'll come back and decide what I'm going to do underneath the eyes after. I might go for a little bit of gold. I'm not sure. This is the holidays. We can play it up. I'm not one to really play with a whole lot of color. I think you all know that about me. But I can get away with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up. And I'm going to soften that edge. Same thing on this side. I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up. You see how the edge is rather harsh I just soften it up a little bit with a brush, no biggie. And then I'm going to go underneath my eyes and make sure I have nothing gathered there. Okay, so now we are just going to go and play with our makeup. So I'm going to go with the Makeup Forever HD Skin. And I'm going to blend it because this isn't really perfect. I'm going to blend it with my L'Oreal. And this is the True Match Nude. This has a beautiful glow to it. Just going to take a pump of this. And then I will just put some of this. I did about 4 or 5 drops of that. And then I want to go into this and just mix it up so that they are really blended well. Now the color may be off slightly, and remember what I said the other day. When my foundation is off, I don't particularly care for my white hair, so I may not like my white hair today. But anyway, I'm just going to tap a good amount of it on my cheeks and work from there, and then I'll put a good amount on my nose, and I'm just going to work out from there because I don't want too much of this foundation on. It has a nice finish on its own, but the color is really off. It's very yellow, and to be honest with you, it doesn't have enough glow for me. I really love a glow to my foundation. So that's why I mix, but both the L'Oreal and the Makeup Forever are very nice foundations on their own. But I like to pretend I have a chemistry degree. I'm a mad scientist here. And I have to make sure I don't get it on my white hair because that will turn it orange or yellow. I'm going to go right up the side. Yeah, it's really a beautiful finish. I'm going to take some on the sponge, and this is the Sonia Kashuk sponge. I do love this sponge, and you can get these at Target. They're affordable, although more expensive than what I used to pay for them, but isn't that true for everything these days? All right, and then I'm just going to finish up with my forehead. That is the foundation. I think it's beautiful. It really is. And just by adding that little bit to it, I took it down a notch so that I can wear it. Because on its own, like I said, it's just too yellow. So I bought this and I tried it the other day. I'm going to try it again. I didn't love it the other day, but we're going to go ahead and give it a try. It is the Dior Backstage, and the color I have is too neutral, I believe. Like I said, I did not fall in love with it the other day, but I don't think I used enough of it, to be honest with you. I think you need a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and build that up, and then on the outer edge I'm going to go up because I want to work up with this. All these new tricks, lady. All the new tricks. So many of them. So I'm going to go in with the sponge, and I'm going to go ahead and just apply this. And I drag it down lower first to try to help that ridge of mine. And this is where you want to be very careful that you don't disturb your line. But I'm going to go all the way up on my temple here. And this is going, and then I'll take my finger. This is going to really just help give another little lift to the eye area. But be careful not to disturb the eyeshadow line. And then I'm just going to build this one out. I think this actually does a better job with a finger. And I do think you need a little bit more than what I used the other day. Okay, so that is the concealer today. I'm just going to go in and make sure that I have it all blended down. Let's take a look. Not bad. It really brightened up the inside area, but I think it needs better blending. I'm going to really let the warmth of my fingers blend that down. Okay? Same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier, and this is the Translucent Ultra Blur. I'm not sold on this powder yet. I hear some people on YouTube and Instagram, and they just say it's the end-all. I have not found that to be true yet, but what do I know? I know what I like and what I don't, I guess. All right, so I'm just working it into the BK Beauty brush, and I'm going to go ahead and touch this all on my cheek, over the T-zone area. focusing mostly on the cheek area and the temple area because that's where I'm going to add another powder product, and I want a smooth transition. I don't want anything standing in my way of a smooth blended look. A little bit on the forehead because I will put a little bronzer up there, and then whatever's left over I just sweep over my face. And then I'm going to go in with a rougher number 16 brush. It's just a nice loose brush. I'm going to take some of this on that brush, work it into the fibers of the brush, and I'm going to tap first, and then I'm going to go in with the powder to help set that concealer. And this is usually where it will tell me you are 75 years old. Not that there's anything wrong with that because I'm living to be 109. I've told you guys that a million times. I am not grooming these eyebrows, but I'm telling you, that new brow works. No other brow serum has worked for me, but that new brow, she's working. All right, so I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel, and this one is in brunette. I can use brunette or caramel, and I gently just go back and forth on my brow. And what this does is it picks up all the white hairs and it's depositing color onto them. So I don't really have to draw my eyebrows on anymore. They're not as thick as I would like them to be yet, but they have thickened to the point where I really don't have to add a pencil. I'm just doing this, and less is more to me. So the less I have to do, the better it's going to be for my aging face. So, but I think it really, it just sets the eyebrows and makes a difference. Now, of course, I could pencil them in if I wanted to, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer, and this one is in the light bronzer. I thought I had the deep. Must be back in New York, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just taking my 107 from BK Beauty, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color, and I'll go around my forehead very lightly, and same thing on the other side. And that is just about all that I need as far as bronzer. And for blush, I'm going to go in with the Buxom, and this is Mykonos. It's a pretty coral, which I like. I'm going to go in with this 106 from BK Beauty. Now, no, it's not a blush brush, but I'm going to use it as one. I just tap it in. You see it picks up. Take a little bit and tap it on your hands just to work it in a little bit. And then placement is so easy because you're just pouncing that blush right where you want it. Notice I'm placing much higher, and I'm not coming in here unless you have a very narrow face or you're trying to really add a lot of fullness back. You really should be concentrating on a lift, and that will start anywhere from here all the way up. Just follow your natural cheekbone, and if it's dropped, you just go up a little bit higher, and you'll see what I mean, how that lifts the face right up. This is a really pretty blush, this Mykonos. Pretty. And I'm just going to sweep on it a little bit to bring out that beautiful luster. It's got a nice satin finish, so you don't have to add the next layer, which would be your highlighter, unless you really want to. I went in, I can't do this on camera, and I tight lined with my Fit Glow Beauty bronze pencil, just a really beautiful bronze pencil. Doesn't irritate my contacts. It has a subtle glow. You can use it to line your eye, whatever you like. If you're someone who likes to wear a winged liner with a pencil, you can do that. You can tight line and do the waterline if you'd like, and I still might do that, I don't know. So now I have to decide what I want to do to the lower half of my eye. First, I'm going to go in with, and you want to get a smaller, tighter brush for this, and you can use either one of these brushes, but you want it to be more flat and a little more dense so that you have control underneath the eye. So I'm going to first start out, I'm going to go back with the Mario palette, and I'm going to go in with this light peach that I used, and I'm just going to go underneath my eye with this, and this is just to add a little brightness first. And notice I'm extending it right out where the edge of the eye stopped. You can see when you look at it how that gives it an uplift, And then I will just go up underneath the eye and again, just blend it out and up. And again, I'm just using the light peach. You use whatever you used as your base. All right, so now I finished up my eye, but if you want to lift it up even further, you go into a lighter shadow, and you really want to give the illusion of having an eye lift. Just go up on the side here and all the way. Just touch it lightly, and then once you blend the bottom, that will all just blend right in. But look at the difference, how it does lift. But you don't want to have that big stripe there, so you want to put it there first. Okay, so now I have really helped to guide your eye up on my eye. So I'm going to take the number 2 Repher, and I'm going to load it up with that gold green. Might not be enough color for underneath the eye, but we'll see. And then I'm going to go ahead and just sweep it under my eye. I don't think it's enough, but we're gonna go ahead and play with it, and then I'll fix it in the end. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up that color that I used in the outer crease. I'm going to load the brush up with that, and I'm going to play it up just over that. And that should help bring that color out a little bit more. See how pretty that looks? Same thing on the other eye. Okay, so there is the under eye. So I'm just going to go back in and I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that green, and I just want to intensify it a little bit more. Just going to touch that right in the center. Very pretty. Okay, so there is the finished look, and then I'll go back in with that number 1 that was the one I was using that outer color with, and I'm just going to blend and soften just where I added that on, and that is the eye look. So I'm going to go ahead and put my mascara on, and for mascara I'm going to be using the Beyond Mascara from City Beauty because they are having their 40% off Black Friday sale, which is from November 14th through the 21st. You get the 40% off. So I thought, well, I'll just use the mascara. I do like this mascara, so I thought, well, I'm just going to use the mascara because somebody might be looking for a new mascara. So allow me to just go and curl my eyelashes, and I will be right back. Mascara is on. I decided to put some on the lower lashes, which I very rarely do, but I thought, why not? So I did go ahead and put some on there and dug my fingers into my eyeshadow palette while I was at it. So then I had to clean underneath my fingernails. And if you'll notice, all of my fingernails have broken off again because the last of the damaged parts finally gave way. So it is what it is right now. So I'm going to go in with a Dior liner, and I think this is Jungle or Brown or something like that. I will have everything listed and linked below for you. Just going to line the lips. Lips are lined, beautiful lip liner. And I thought I would try another one of these Ilia lipsticks. They are beautiful. The Grenadine is the red that I've been wearing. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. They are so long lasting. They feel wonderful on the lips. The Grenadine you can only get on the Ilia website, so I'll have that linked below for you. So beautiful. So I thought I would try another one. This is Amber Light, and it is the Color Block lipstick. Now this may not be enough color with my hair, but I wanted to try it out for you guys. So here we go. I think they are just gorgeous. And if you wanted to go in with your city lips, because I know many of you use this, I'm not going to put the actual brush on my lip because then it ruins everything. But you can go in if you want to add a little extra glow into the center, just to give you that fuller lip look. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, I will be right back. All right, friends, I'm back with the finished look. I wanted to just let you know that I took this Refer 28 brush and I went into the deeper of the greens and I just lightly touched underneath my eyes with this in the center just to add a little something more to the under eye, because it is the holidays. And then I turned the brush around and I went back into the Mario and I picked up some of this redder brown and I just touched this on the outer part of my eye, just the outer corner. And I also took my bronze pencil, which has escaped me, here it is. I took the Fit Glow Beauty bronze pencil and I did the waterline. So that is my face. For my outfit of the day, I cannot say enough about this brand from Target, and it's called A New Day. This is one of their ribbed tanks. You know, I wear a lot of their other cotton type tanks. This is a dresser one. It's a rib tank and it comes just down to about your hip bones, but it is so comfortable, it's so pretty, it looks rich, and it's only $15. So I wanted to share this outfit of the day with you. And I also found these pants. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I like to look good, I like to be stylish, but I want to be comfortable. That's very important to me. And I don't always like tight fitted clothing, but I don't like where it's so loose that you look sloppy. So I saw these pants online and I believe I got them from Dillard's. Everything will be listed and linked below for you. These are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They have such a beautiful flow to them. The color of them is spectacular. It has a little bit of like pewter blue gray with a little bit of gold, and then in the trimming there's gold. On the bottom of the pants there's like a gold trimming with this olive green. That's why I decided on the olive green in the shirt, because it ties the whole outfit together. And I don't know if you'll remember, I tried to order a pair of shoes during the Nordstrom sale, anniversary sale, and they were olive green. They never came to me. So I went online last night because that's the only thing. I don't have the perfect shoe for this outfit. So I went online last night and they still have those pumps. Of course, they're not the anniversary sale price, but they also come in a beautiful burgundy red. But the delivery date on them is like the end of November. So I don't know what's going on with that company. I'll insert a picture of the shoes and I'll also link them below. Because if you have something to do for Christmas and it would just tie in perfectly with your outfit, these are beautiful, beautiful shoes. But today I'm just wearing a pair of neutral Kate Spade pumps, which I've had for a very long time. They don't have a really high heel. That's another thing. I look for a shoe that's very stylish, and a pointed shoe does help to elongate my short legs. But I want it to have a comfortable heel. So either a kitten heel or just something a little bit more is perfect. But are these pants not spectacular, my friends? I absolutely love it and wanted to share that with you because I think these would also be perfect for any holiday event you have because it has beautiful gold. Now I decided to pair it with some Dean Davidson necklaces. This is an adjustable layering beaded necklace. The beads move on it. But this here is from another collection. I can't remember the name of the collection, but it's a reversible. You can have it where it has the white stone, but I went with the labradorite with this outfit because labradorite lends itself to blue, gray, and green. So this kind of brings everything together. And then I went with these earrings, and the stone again is labradorite. And you can see by looking at my ring all the different colors that come alive in a labradorite ring. Just beautiful, my friends. So there is a holiday look for you, and perhaps another suggestion for a holiday look or an office look. Throw a blazer on with this and you will be the belle of the ball, my friends. These pants are gorgeous. So that is it for today's video. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love to have you as an ageless beauty. So hit the subscribe button. Right next to it is the bell that will notify you of all the videos that I'm putting up. Until the next time, my friends, you go out in the world and you be lovable. And remember, ladies, it is okay to love your age. I love you all. Bisous.